Okay, good Chodesh, everyone. We're continuing with 4 minutes of Mishlei. We are up to Perek Yud Beis, chapter 12. I want to focus on Pasuk Chaf Hey. The Pasuk says, Da'aga belev ish yashchena. If there's anxiety or worry in a man's mind, let him squash it, push it away. V'davar tov yisamchena, and turn to joy with a good word. So there's a Gemara in Sanhedrin, Daf Kuf Amid Beis, and the Gemara interprets this in two different ways. It's a machlokes amoraim. Rabbi Ami and Rav Asi. Chad Omar yasichena midaito, similar to the way I translated before. Cast it away from your mind. You have something that you have worry, you are worried about it, you have anxiety about something, forget about it, just let it go. And then another Chad Omar yasichena la'achirim. Talk it out with somebody else. Don't just let go of it. Talk to someone about it. And I once heard from Rav Meir Tursky, one of the Rosh Yeshiva at Yeshiva University, that these are really kind of two paradigms of how we deal with problems. Some problems, if you dwell on them and you let them fester, you're not going to get past it. You just need to kind of move past it. And on the other hand, there are certain things that if you throw them under the rug, if we try to ignore it, we try to pretend it's not there, oh, we don't have that problem in our community. Oh, our family, we don't have that problem. It ends up being much more of a formidable problem if you don't actually take the advice of Yasichenu La'achirim. Go to someone else. Look for advice. Seek Eitzah, guidance, whether it's a Rav, a counselor, a therapist, if it comes to a medical doctor, whatever it is, you need to address it. So how do you know? How do you know which one to go for? So obviously that's kind of that's the question. But just know that sometimes not every issue is a trauma. Not every issue needs to be dwelled upon and mulled over, and sometimes we don't take it seriously enough. So you really have to know which approach to take. I just saw, in terms of the power of what a person can do for somebody else as a listener, I saw a beautiful quote from a book by Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, The Power of Ideas, and he quotes a story about Viktor Frankl. So Viktor Frankl, he survived in concentration camps in Dachau and in Auschwitz, and he once told the following story. He developed a whole therapy, if people are familiar with Man's Search for Meaning, and this story was when a woman once phoned him in the middle of the night, telling him she wanted to take her own life. Frankl kept her on the telephone and talked her through her depression, giving her reason after reason to carry on living. Eventually, she promised him she would not take her life, and she kept her word. When they met later, Frankl asked her which of his reasons she had found convincing. None, she replied. What then persuaded her to go on living? His answer was simple. Frankl had been willing to listen to her in the middle of the night. A world in which someone was prepared to listen to another's distress seemed to her one in which it was worthwhile to live. And that, he says, Rabbi Sachs says, is really at the heart of tefillah. And that's not just a human interaction, but it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu as well. That is what God does in the Bible, in the Torah. He listens to those who otherwise go unheard. God listens, and in listening gives us strength to live. And I think there's one final phrase I'll just quote here, such beautiful language with Rabbi Sachs' way. He writes here, it's not accidental that the most famous words of the Jewish prayer, Shema Yisrael. I used to translate this as, Hear, O Israel. I now know that it means, listen, O Israel. Listening is where pain is healed by being shared.